Hey, DirtFarmer Jay here from DirtFarmerJay.com. We love having a bandsaw, and if you've got a maker shop, it's one of the top tools. But there's gonna come a time where you need to change the tires on it. Stay tuned, and I'll show you how to do it with these great new urethane tires. Hey, DirtFarmer Jay here from DirtFarmerJay.com. We love our bandsaw. It's one of the most important, useful tools in the shop. However, sooner or later, if you have one of these, you're gonna have to change the tires on the bandsaw. And recently we put on these new urethane tires. They are fantastic. They'll probably outlive me. Hey, join me over at the bench and I'll show you how we swapped them out. We took our time scouring the internet and YouTube videos to find out the best process for putting on these urethane tires onto your bandsaw wheel. These tires are quite a bit undersized, and if you just try to stretch them on, that's a lesson in frustration and you won't get the results you want. This technique that we're going to show you how to put this on is quite simple and only takes a few general supplies you probably already have in your shop. One's a piece of 2x4, about 26 inches long. Another is a drill bit that matches, in this case, a 1/2 inch rod. We also use this piece of metal, which actually comes from a grommeting kit, and we're gonna drive it into here and mount the wheel with it. These create an axle to rotate that around on. Now, let me be forthcoming here. Notice this was a prototype. We originally had tried this. The holes were too loose. This was vertical, and you'll see why in a moment, why it's better to tilt this. So the first thing we did is we took this 2x4, we went over and drilled the correct size holes in it to match what we have for stock. And you can use all sorts of different things. You'll also need a short piece of pipe. This happens to be a scrap piece of copper tubing. You can see it was unsoldered from a job, but you could use a piece of galvanized pipe, perhaps even some PVC, and you'll see why. You're essentially creating a roller surface here. So how does this work? So the first thing we're gonna do is take the wheel and we're gonna place it over this hole. Notice that the holes were spaced so that when we drive this in, now I've got a pivot to work with. The second hole is outside about 1/4 inch from the outer edge of the rim of this wheel. Now, notice this. When I put this piece of steel, just happens to be a 1/2 inch, you could use a barn spike. Notice the angle that that's at. There's a reason for that. If this was straight, like the first one, or leaned in, when we go to apply the wheel using this technique, it'll continually try to pull the tire off the wheel instead of placing it on. All right, so here's the next step. You're going to go ahead, put this down here. I'll just use the smoother end. Down here, that becomes a roller. Then we're going to take this, put it over that, and then let's locate the splice. There you can see the splice right there. And as strong as this tire is, that is the weakest point, even though it's quite strong. But why tempt fate? Let's protect that splice. So what we're gonna do is put the splice right there and then clamp it. I'm gonna take a clamp here and just clamp it right there with the tail of the clamp going here. Now we've protected that splice, and any tension that's going away from it is spread out instead of concentrated in one point. Now we're gonna rotate this around, and as we do, let's work the tire into the center below the two, or in between the two flanges. And as we go around, you're gonna find that we start to create tension here. This can't pop off because it's clamped. This angle is helping this come down. So every time we turn the wheel, we're gonna force this tire down into the flanges right there. And as we get closer, tension's starting to build here. We're gonna go ahead and force these down in to get them to click in. Notice that we're very close now to getting this completely mounted. And as we come here, you can also come to the back side right there and kind of help get it onto the wheel. And there we go, we'll rotate around. Again, force it down. get it centered, and then as we come all the way around, we're now at a place here where it's going to be on the wheel completely. And we're about there. There we go. And you're gonna have to take some little finessing right here to get that in, but as you can see it, notice how close it is right there where it's popped in versus it's riding up a little bit. So go ahead and pop that all in. And when you've got it where it needs to be, now the next trick is take this pipe right here and start to rotate it up. When you do so, you're gonna have to hold this down. There we go. We're now to that stage right there. And now we're gonna work out this. And as we do, it's gonna snap the rod right up next to the wheel. You can see a lot of tension in it. These tires are very durable, very strong. There it is right there. At that point, roll it sideways, roll the end out, let it snap in place. Rotate everything around one time to make sure it's all the way in, all the way around, and it is. And so now, let's go ahead and pop that off. There you go, perfectly, beautifully mounted. One thing you need to do is just run around, make sure there's no lumps in it and that the tire is not overhanging the flanges anywhere, and we did a good job of checking that when we did it. This now is ready to remount on the saw, tension the blade, and so forth. Use the manual of your saw if need be. You know, there's another thing that really can drive you crazy around the home, and that is when you're mowing the grass and the grass catcher keeps clogging. Well, check out this video where we show you how to stop that from happening, and if it has happened, how to get back on the road again. And then check this other video that we think's pretty doggone good, but YouTube thinks is perfect for you. Hey, until the next time, this is DirtFarmer Jay from DirtFarmerJay.com, enjoying the bandsaw.